All my life, I've been wearing hand-me downs, but most of them are never meant to fit me, kind of like the pain my mother feels from wounds she herself never learned how to heal, or the opinions of my family members on who they think we're not or should be. And since I've always been this skinny, most of them never look good on me. I hate labels, but all my life I've been wearing my family's pathology. Won't you look at me? Don't I look pretty? I came from a long line of women who had fathers present in the house, but hardly ever in their lives they had daddy issues. So you can only imagine their choice in guys. I know secrets that were so deep that it poisoned the family tree by the roots. I had one aunt who couldn't tell her daughter the truth about who her real father was until she was already grown with kids of her own. When I see my cousins at family reunions, I'm like, yo, I remember those clothes. Those were the same jeans that I wore. Growing up, I always loved the smell of borrowed clothes. Never knew what it was. I guess it never smelled like the struggle. And for a long time, the struggle was all I knew. Conditioned to think that even though those clothes were used, somehow they would make me feel new under the guise that there was nothing wrong with me on the inside. But I peeped game like Larry Bird in '88 that my family matters had missing chapters. They were good actors. Everybody played pretend. Like Barbie and Ken, permit me to speak about the women and the men of my generation, of this one and the one before me. Let's pretend. Let's pretend like my mother still doesn't bleed on her children from wounds inflicted upon her by broken men. Let's pretend like my aunt wasn't in one abusive relationship after the other, like I didn't see her get beaten up by her child's father every time she bruised this ego. And before he left, he handed my cousin, her older son, his boxing gloves like, here you go. Show me what you know. And before we knew it, he was putting hands on his girlfriend, and we pretended to be surprised. Like, nah, he won't do that. He see mother good true. Let's pretend. Like my grandfather had a clue about how to groom his sons. My uncles run bush, their man never around, never took the time to get to know the children they left behind. Like throw them minerals on a scale and just weigh out how much I care about you growing up. They were taught to be a man, you needed to make that bread and bring home the bacon because breakfast was the most important meal of the day. They were never taught to be emotionally available for their offspring. So when my little cousin started to strip so her tips could pay the bills, she became the man of the house because technically she was the one taking care of the kids. So every time she dropped 100 stacks in her mother's lap for the groceries, nobody ever questioned her morals or where she got the money from, cause the struggle don't watch no face. And when you're faced with hard times, you gotta do what you gotta do. She said, cuz I love you and I hope you stay in school, but as for me, I would rather be street smart than book smart any single day of the week. She said her father, he didn't just plant a seed, he planted a garden filled with trees, and he failed to water and nourish it. She said He's the prime example of giving a man your soul and every other hole on your body, and they will still leave. The only difference between her and her mother is what she had to offer wasn't free. So tell me, do you see my family's pathology? As for me, I kept dating men that clearly didn't deserve me because any man with standards made me feel unworthy. I said I kept dating men who clearly didn't deserve me because any man with standards made me feel unworthy. I guess it's hard to be a black queen when the foundation of your kingdom ain't sturdy. I said, I guess it's hard to be a black queen when the foundation of your kingdom ain't sturdy. The women of my family are numb, deaf to quequet drums, marriages for chumps. According to my grandmother, in the end, men will always let you down. And the only time you see every single member of the family come around is when you have to place somebody 6 feet on the ground. Wakes have become a meeting place for family you ain't seen in decades, who say, you get big, how you doing? To which I respond, I've been struggling with my mental health. To which they say, oh, okay, I guess you need to pray. And I keep it moving because band-aids can't heal broken bones. And we'll gather around in the kitchen, around a stove or a bottle of rum. And we'll make jokes like we ain't got old clothes in our closets waiting to hand down to our children. I guess all this pain I've been feeling is me breaking generational curse. I guess you can't have a testimony without a test. I guess God wanted me to own my own clothes. Hell, he probably wanted me to own my own store. Hand-me-downs.